Hello, and thank you for choosing to practice with me today. I'm going to be guiding you through a nice juicy stretchy flow. So we're going to begin today's practice in a comfortable seated position, maybe finding cross-legged, popping a block or a cushion underneath your bum to lift your hips up off the mat, creating that little bit more space. And just taking a moment here to ground down and settle in before your practice. Maybe bringing the palms of the hands onto the front of the knees to begin to cultivate that grounding energy. And just beginning to close down the eyes. Finding that tall, straight spine, really grounding down through your sit bones and lifting up through the crown of your head. And just taking a moment here to notice your breath. Notice how the breath feels today. Perhaps leaving the busyness of the day or the week that you might have had. Or perhaps the anticipation of your day or week ahead of you. Knowing you can pick up whatever you need on your way off your mat. But really making the most of the opportunity that you've given yourself to practice today. And just beginning to take your breath in and out through your nose. And seeing if you can begin to deepen the breath here. Taking it right down into your belly. As you inhale, feel the belly expand with the breath. And as you exhale, completely empty the belly of that breath. And just beginning to lengthen the breath here. Seeing if you can find the length of your exhale to be equal to the length of your inhale. Creating that even, steady pattern of breathing. In and out through your nose. And I invite you to keep this breath practice throughout today's class. And then maybe when the mind starts to wander, or the distractions from the outside world become too much, just bring your attention back to your breath. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. Taking a few more rounds of breath here as we settle into the practice. And just bringing your hands to touch in prayer at heart center. Bowing your chin towards your chest. And here as we breathe, I invite you to set an intention for your practice today. Perhaps to keep that connection of body and breath. I'm really listening to your body in today's practice. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And release with a sigh. Bringing the hands down beside the hips. As we inhale, reach the hands out and up. Gaze up towards the thumbs. Exhale, bring the hands to prayer at heart center. Really nice. This time on your inhale, reach your arms out and up. Reach up high to the fingertips. And on your exhale, bring your right hand down beside you. Left hand reaches up and over, grounding through the left sit bones and reaching through those top fingertips. One more deep breath. And on your next inhale, reaching back up high. Exhale, left hand comes down beside you. Right hand reaches up and over, lengthening out the side of the body. One more deep breath. Inhaling back up to the center, really nice. This time on your exhale, we're taking a twist to your right hand side. Your left hand comes to your right knee and your right hand comes behind you, gazing over that back shoulder. Keep lifting through the crown of the head, keeping that tall, straight spine. One more deep breath. And on your next inhale, lifting back up to find the center, reach up nice and high. And on your next exhale, take your twist to your left hand side, right hand to the outside of your left knee, left hand behind you, gazing over the back shoulder. And seeing if you can find that twist coming from the middle of your body rather than just your shoulders. One more deep breath. And on your next inhale, reach up nice and high. On your exhale, bring your hands down to prayer at heart center. Take a moment here. Deep breath in through the nose. And on your exhale, come to roll over your hands and knees, coming to find your tabletop position. So your wrists are stacked underneath your shoulders and your knees are stacked underneath your hips. As again, we begin to connect movement and breath again here, taking cat-cow. On your inhale, drop the belly, gaze forward, arch through the back. And on your exhale, round through your back, gaze towards your belly button, really press the mat away from you. Nice. Inhale, gaze forwards, drop the belly. Exhale, round through your back, gaze towards your belly button. Inhaling to come forwards. And exhaling to round back. Really nice. Inhaling. And exhaling. And just continuing to take a couple more of these cat-cow movements with your own breath, finding your own rhythm. And moving in a way that feels good for you today. Not worrying about what the shapes that you make look like, but how they feel within your body. Taking one more full round of breath here. And on your exhale, come back to meet in the center. Find a neutral spine here. Really hug that belly button up, just beginning to engage those core muscles. Press the mat away from you, tuck the toes behind you, and begin to lift the hips all the way up to find a downward facing dog. Really nice. You're finding your first down dog of the practice, maybe your first of the day, and you might like to take some movement here. Just pedaling through the legs, bending one knee and then the other. Maybe pedaling through the shoulders, bending one elbow and then the other. Maybe swaying hips side to side. Again, just finding any movements that feel good for you in your body today. Beginning to create space along the back of the body. And keep breathing in through the nose. And out through your nose. Coming to find stillness in your down dog whenever you're ready. Really press the mat away from you. And if the backs of the legs feel really tight, keep a bend in the knees and keep lifting the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Get that feeling of your belly drawing back towards your thighs. Really nice. Take one more deep breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth, release with a sigh. On your inhale, begin to rise high onto your tiptoes and pad the feet forwards towards the top of the mat. Really feeling the mat beneath you with every step that you take. And when you reach the top of the mat, keep the feet hip distance apart and fold the body along the legs, coming to find a ragdoll position, maybe catching hold of opposite elbows. Again, keep that bend in the knees if the backs of the legs are really tight. And maybe just begin to take sways side to side here. And again, we're just creating space, opening up the back of the body. Maybe bending into one knee and then the other. Taking one more deep breath in through the nose. And out through your nose, release hold of the elbows, bend back deeply through the knees, and begin to curl up through your spine all the way up to standing. Head and neck comes up last, rolling the shoulders up, down, and back when you get there. Really nice. We're coming to meet in Tadasana at the top of your mat, your mountain pose, bringing the big toes to touch. Unless there's any pinching in the lower back, in which case just keep the feet hip distance apart. Rotating the shoulders so that the palms of the hands face towards the top of the mat. Really finding that connection to the earth, grounding through your feet and lifting up through the crown of your head. Strong in your mountain pose. Take a deep breath to prepare. And then on your next inhale, reach the arms up above the head, gaze up to the thumbs. And on your exhale, hinge from your hips, fold the body forwards. Nice. Inhale, find a halfway lift, gaze forwards, flat back. And exhale, fold the body back down. Inhale, reaching the arms all the way back up to the sky. Exhale, hands come to prayer at heart center. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, really hinge from your hips here. Inhale, find that halfway lift, gaze forwards, flat back again. And exhale, fold the body down. Inhale, reach all the way back up to the sky, gaze up to the thumbs. And exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. Really nice, we're building on this now. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, create space in your halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms down. Step right foot to the back of the mat to begin with. Left foot comes to join it. Find the strength in your high plank here. Before you begin to lower knees, chest and chin down towards the mat. Slide forwards to find your baby cobra, gentle back bend. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Take a breath in here and a breath out. On your inhale, rise high onto your tiptoes. And on your exhale, begin to walk or step your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to create space, halfway lift. And exhale, fold the body back down. Inhale, reaching all the way back up to standing, gaze up to the thumbs. And exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. Really nice, once more like this. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, create space in your halfway lift. Exhale, fold the body down, plant the palms, step left foot to the back of the mat first this time. Right foot comes to join it in your high plank. Start to build the strength here. Before again lowering knees, chest and chin down towards the mat. Slide forwards to find that baby cobra. Maybe take the weight out of the hands. Exhale, plant them back down, hips lift up, downward facing dog. Breath in and breath out. On your next inhale, rise high onto the tiptoes. And on your exhale, walk or step your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to create space. And exhale to fold back down. Inhale to reach all the way up to standing, gaze up. And exhale, hands to prayer at heart center, pausing here. Take a breath. Come back to find your rhythm of breathing. Before we take Sun Salutation A, Surya Namaskar A, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold the body forwards. Inhale, create space. Exhale, plant the palms, step or maybe jump your feet back to find a high plank. You can either continue to lower knees, chest, chin, or down in 1-3 Chaturanga Dandasana. Sliding forwards to find a baby cobra or maybe an upward facing dog, thighs off the mat. Exhaling over your toes, downward facing dog. Really nice. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, rise high onto the tiptoes. Exhale, walk, step, or maybe jump your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to create space. And exhale to fold the body down. Inhale, reaching all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. Really nice. Continuing to flow here. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale to create space. Exhale, plant the palms, step or jump back, find high plank. Lower down either knees, chest, chin, or down in 1-3 chaturanga. Keep hugging the elbows in towards the body. Inhale to find baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling to find a downward facing dog. Really nice. On your next inhale, lift that right leg up behind you. Find the 3-leg downward facing dog here. Really push that heel away. And on your next inhale, bring the knee in towards the chest and plant the foot down between the hands at the top of the mat. Drop that back knee, untuck the back toes, and inhale, lift the arms up to find a low lunge. Really nice. Feeling the length created along the front of your left thigh here. Keep reaching up through the fingertips. One more deep breath in through the nose. And on your exhale, bring your hands down to frame that right foot. Draw the hips back towards the back foot, straightening out the right leg. Drawing the toes in towards you. We're coming to find Ardha Hanumanasana, our half split pose here. And again, you can keep that bend in the knee if the back of the leg feels really tight. Take one more deep breath in through the nose. And on your exhale, roll forwards, bring the weight back into that right foot. Tuck under the back toes, plant the palms down. Step back to find a high plank. And flow through your version of Vinyasa. Lowering down towards the mat. Inhaling to find a back bend that suits you. And exhaling to find your downward facing dog. Really nice. Take a breath here. And on your next inhale, lift that left leg up behind you this time. Find the 3-leg downward facing dog on this side. Again, really push that heel away from you, really strong lifted leg. And on your next inhale, bring the knee in towards the chest. Roll forwards and plant that foot down between the hands at the top of the mat. Drop the back knee, untuck the back toes. Inhale, reach the hands up to find your low lunge. Nice. Keep reaching high through the fingertips, lengthening the side of the body. And feel that space you're creating along the front of your right thigh here. One more deep breath in through the nose. And out through your nose, bring your hands down to frame the left foot. Draw the hips back towards the back foot, straightening out left leg, coming to find Ardha Hanumanasana on this side. Drawing the toes in towards you. Maybe feel the space that you're creating along the back of your left leg. Keep your gaze down towards the top of the mat, trying to keep that nice length through the back of the neck. One more deep breath in. And on your exhale, roll forwards, bring the weight back into that left foot. Plant the palms down, tuck under the back toes, lift the back knee. Step back to find your high plank. And flow through your Vinyasa. Meeting back in a downward facing dog. Really nice. On your next inhale, rise high onto your tiptoes, and on your exhale, walk, step, or maybe jump your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to find that halfway lift, and exhale to fold the body down. Inhale to reach the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to prayer at heart center, pausing here. Coming back to find your rhythm of breathing. In and out through your nose. We begin to flow again here. On your next inhale, reach your arms up nice and high. And exhale, fold the body forwards, hinging from your hips. Inhale to create space. Exhale, plant the palms, step or jump back to high plank. Lowering down, knees, chest, chin, or down in one chaturanga. Sliding forwards, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Draw the shoulders away from your ears and exhale to a downward facing dog. Take a breath when you get there. And on your next inhale, lift that right leg up behind you again, finding the three-leg dog. On your next inhale, bring the knee in towards the chest and plant that foot down between the hands at the top of the mat, keeping the back knee lifted this time. On your next inhale, reach your arms all the way up to find a high lunge. Really nice. Keep squeezing your left bum cheek here. Keep that back leg really strong and straight. Reaching through the fingertips. Take a deep breath in through the nose, reach up high. And on your exhale, open the body out to find your warrior two. Right hand in front of you, left hand behind you. Really nice. Keep sinking through that front knee and grounding through the outside edge of the back foot. Reaching through both hands here, gaze over that front middle finger. Really strong in your warrior two. As we begin to fly the warrior here, on your next inhale, reach your arms up, gaze up to the thumbs and straighten out that right leg. And exhale, bend the right knee, open the arms out, come back to a warrior two. Inhaling, reach up high, straighten the right leg. Exhale, open back out. Really nice, moving with your breath. Inhaling, reaching up. And exhaling, open out. One more time. Inhaling. And exhaling. On your next inhale, flip your right palm, reach forwards, up and back, reverse the warrior. Slide left hand down the back leg. Open out through the side of your body. Keep that deep bend in the front knee. One more inhale. And on your exhale, begin to windmill the hands down to frame that right foot. Come onto the toes of the back foot. Step back to your high plank and flow through your vinyasa. Lowering down towards the mat. Inhaling to find the back bend that suits you. And exhaling to meet back in your downward facing dog. Really nice. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Coming back to find your rhythm of breathing. And on your next inhale, begin to lift that left leg up behind you. Find the three-leg dog again here. So you're imagining there's a wall behind you, you're really pushing your heel against. Really strong through the lifted leg. And on your next inhale, bring that knee forwards and plant the foot between the hands at the top of the mat. Strong through both feet as you begin to lift the hands up to find your high lunge again this time. So you're onto the toes of the back foot, bend through the front knee and keep squeezing your right bum cheek this time, keeping that back leg really strong and straight. Reaching up through the fingertips, lengthening out the side of the body. Take one more inhale. And on your exhale, open out to find your warrior two. So left hand in front of you, right hand behind you. Deep bend through the front knee. And really grounding through the outside edge of that back foot. Nice. Reach through both hands here. Gaze over that front middle finger, really strong in your warrior two. Before we begin to fly the warrior, on your inhale, reach the arms up, straighten out the left leg, gaze up, and exhale, bend that left knee, open the arms out, warrior two. Inhale, reaching up, straightening out, and exhale, bending the knee, coming back to your warrior two. Moving with your breath, inhaling, reaching, and exhaling, opening out. Once more like this, inhaling and exhaling. Really nice. On your next inhale, flip your left palm, reach forwards, up and back, reverse the warrior. Slide the right hand down the back leg. Keep that deep bend in your front knee. Just lengthening out the side of the body. Maybe gaze up towards that top elbow if it feels okay on your neck. One more inhale. And on your exhale, begin to windmill the hands down to frame that left foot. Come onto the toes of the back foot, step back, find high plank, and flow through your vinyasa. Meeting back in a downward facing dog. Really nice. And we're taking 3 deep breaths here. So you can either take these in stillness in your down dog, building the strength, or if you need to take a rest, bring the knees down towards the mat and find your child's pose, sinking the bum back towards your heels and just taking the weight out of the wrists. Finding a position with your body that you can relax and rest for a couple of breaths. Perhaps coming back to find your intention that you set at the start of class. And when you've taken those 3 deep breaths, in your own time, no rush, make your way back to find your downward facing dog. Coming back to find that inverted V shape here. Really lift the sit bones up towards the ceiling. And on your next inhale, lift the right leg up behind you and begin to open out the hips here. So you're stacking right hip on top of left, bending the top knee and pointing the toes of the lifted leg. Being careful not to collapse into the shoulders. One more deep breath. And on your next exhale, square off the hips and bring that knee forwards, planting the shin down on the mat to come to find your pigeon pose. So your right knee is behind your right wrist and your right foot is in the direction of your left wrist. Extend the left leg out behind you, untuck the back toes. Lift up through the crown of your head, finding some length through the spine to begin with. And either staying here, planting the hands down into the mat, if this is enough for you. Or if you've got a little bit more space in the hips, you could begin to walk the hands out in front of you, coming down to find the forearms. Again, stay here. This is a really nice place to be. Or you could maybe begin to walk the hands out in front of you, bringing the forehead down onto the mat. And keep breathing in through the nose and out through your nose. Notice where you feel the sensation on this side of the body. Sending your breath to any areas of tension or tightness. Taking a couple more deep breaths on this side. And then in your own time, gently beginning to lift the body up. Walk the hands in towards you, moving really gently. Lift up high onto the fingertips, lengthen out the spine. Deep breath in through the nose. And on your exhale, plant the palms back down into the mat, tuck the back toes, scoot them forward a little bit, and just begin to wiggle your way back to find a downward facing dog. When you get there, you might want to pedal through the legs, just bringing movement back into the hip space before we take it onto the other side. Coming back to find stillness. And on your next inhale, lift your left leg up nice and high and begin to open out the hip. So you're stacking left hip on top of right this time, bending the top knee, pointing the toes of the lifted leg. And again, just being careful not to collapse into the shoulders, especially the right one here. Really strong through both arms. One more inhale. And on your exhale, begin to square off the hips and bring that leg forwards, planting the shin down onto the mat. So this time your left knee is behind your left wrist and your left foot is in the direction of your right wrist. Extending the right leg out behind you, untucking the back toes. Walk the hands in, lift up through the crown of your head, just creating that length through your spine. And either staying here, really plugging the palms down into the mat, if this is enough for you, or if you've got more space, you could again walk the hands forwards to find the forearms, or maybe walking them out a little bit further and bringing the forehead down onto the mat. Finding your edge in this pose. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through your nose. Again, just taking a moment here to notice where you feel the sensation on this side of the body. Maybe it's different to the other leg, and just know that that's okay. Keep sending the breath to those areas of tightness or sensation. Taking a couple more deep breaths on this side. And on your next inhale, gently begin to lift the body up, walking the hands back in towards you, moving really gently. Finding that length through your spine again here, lift up through the crown of your head. And on your exhale, begin to plant the hands back down into the mats and scoot that right foot in slightly, tuck under the toes and begin to wiggle your way back to find your downward dog again here. Maybe pedaling through the legs when you get there, just bringing that movement back into the hip space. Taking another couple of deep breaths. On your inhale, rise high onto your tiptoes. And on your exhale, begin to walk, step, or jump your feet through to find a seat at the top of the mat. Extending both legs out in front of you when you get there. Just pausing for a breath in Dandasana, our staff pose. Finding that length along the spine. And then begin to bend both knees, plant the soles of the feet down onto the mat and just scoot your bum forwards to make sure that you've got plenty of room on the mat behind you. As you extend both arms out alongside your legs, begin to round through the back, take that C shape and switch on those belly muscles. As you really slowly begin to lower your way down onto the mat behind you. Really using the core muscles to control the movement down. Going as slow as you can. Really strong. Nice. Eventually coming to lie the back down onto the mat. And when you get there, draw both knees in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers around the shins. And maybe take gentle rocks side to side here. Just beginning to massage out the lower back and maybe into the belly muscles. Taking another couple of deep breaths. Before beginning to extend the arms out alongside you onto the ground. And if you don't have much space at home, you could cactus up the arms, bending the elbows. Palms of your hands face towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Use the belly muscles to draw the knees in towards the chest. And on your exhale, allow the knees to drop over to your right hand side, gazing over towards your left hand. And we're taking a spinal twist. And if when you get there, you want to shift the hips to find a twist that works better for your body today, go ahead. Maybe bringing the right hand onto the outside of the left knee to add that little bit of weight into the twist. Maybe you might like to close down the eyes here. Just beginning to slow down the breath. Slow down the heart rate. Taking another couple of deep breaths on this side. Really feeling the body release into the twist. On your next exhale, begin to release the hand off the knee. And on your inhale, begin to lift the knees back up to the center, coming back to find the middle of the mat with your back. Take a deep breath in, draw the knees in towards your chest using your belly muscles. And on your exhale, begin to drop the knees over towards the left-hand side, gazing over to your right hand, taking that spinal twist onto the opposite side. And again, if you need to adjust the position of the hips when you get there, go ahead and do so. As you inhale, feel the belly expand with the breath. And as you exhale, feel the body begin to relax and let go. Taking another couple of deep breaths on this side. And on your next inhale, begin to lift the knees back up to find the center. This time, hugging both knees back in towards your chest, giving yourself one last big hug, one last tight squeeze. Maybe taking those rocks side to side, or maybe bringing the forehead up towards the kneecaps. Really rounding into the back. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale with a sigh, releasing hold of arms and legs and just coming to find one last position with the body here. Coming to take Supta Baddha. So you're bringing the soles of your feet together and allowing the knees to drop to the outside edges of your mat, creating a diamond shape with your legs. Here, you can either rest the hands down alongside your body, palms facing up towards the ceiling, or maybe you could mirror the shape of your legs with your arms, reaching the hands up and over your head to frame the face here. Just finding a really open, expansive shape with the body. And if you haven't already, just begin to close down the eyes. Noticing the space you've created within your body and the space you've created within your mind. Taking another couple of deep breaths here. And you can either take your relaxation here today, or you could move to find a more traditional Shavasana. Reaching the arms back down alongside you, palms facing up towards the ceiling, extending the legs down along the length of the mats, allowing the feet to drop outwards. In whatever shape you found yourself in, allowing all the muscles of your body to relax here. Allowing the breath to soften and the mind to let go. bringing your attention back to your breath. Bringing gentle movement back into the body, maybe starting with your fingers and your toes. Reaching the arms up and over your head to find a full body stretch. Drawing the knees in towards your chest. And rolling to lie on your right hand side. Keeping the eyes closed here. In your own time, making your way up to find your comfortable seat. And when you get there, bring the hands to prayer at heart center. Bowing your chin towards your chest. And bowing in gratitude for your practice today. And for the beautiful body you have to practice with. I thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your practice. Namaste.